I'm going to teach you 5 really cool blues-based rockabilly licks today. Most rockabilly licks are probably blues-based anyway. I could pretend that there's some magical thing I'm doing here. There's not really. They're blues licks, and they translate beautifully to rockabilly. And actually, most rockabilly licks will translate really well to blues. You'll actually find guys like Big Bill Bluesy used a lot of those ideas. A lot of the early blues players, there's a whole list of them really. And you probably first really started to hear some of that great stuff through the likes of guys like Carl Perkins. Very much based on the pentatonic scale with a few little things thrown in there, particularly throwing in the major third. So what I'm talking about there, and I actually talk about that during the licks a little bit more. I think during the third lick, start talking about how you can move these licks around to work off your 1 chord, your 4 chord, and your 5 chord, which you'll probably be familiar with if you're getting into the blues and rockabilly. And if not, I've kind of explained it anyway. So guys, check out the video. The transcriptions for the licks will be available on Patreon. But furthermore, if you do join the Patreon, you are helping me create more videos, and it's growing flat out. There's a Discord now. There's so much great stuff happening. I won't keep you any longer. Guys, let's get into exercise 1. Okay, so lick number 1 is actually a B.B. King lick, believe it or not, from one of his first recordings. There's a song called She's Dynamite. Check it out. It's pretty much taken very, very closely from the initial riff, which goes... Okay, at full speed. Right, so that's B.B. King, the blues man himself, and that is very much a rockabilly lick. So let me walk you through what's going on there. Imagine we're playing from like a C major chord here. We might be playing our blues from here, and this is the position that you'd line these licks up. All of these licks today are going to be from where your root note could potentially be at the 6th fret. So think about your pentatonic scale. Okay, which you hopefully you would have learnt. If not, that is on my channel. It's that position there. So we're sliding from the 8th fret on the 3rd string into the 9. We're going to the 8th fret on the 2nd string, 10th fret on the 2nd string, and we're doing a double stop on the 8th fret, which is 8 and 8 on the 1st and 2nd string, like that. Then we're hitting them together. We're playing the 11, 10, 8 on the 2nd string, hit the 8 again, so it's like a double. So I'll do that again. Then we play the 10 on the 3rd, and we flatten the finger in anticipation of also playing the 10 on the 4th string, 10th fret. So, and then we play the 8th fret on the 3rd string. And you may choose to hammer onto the 9 there. Okay, so all in C. It's sort of in a mixture of C minor pentatonic or and C major. You could also think C mixolydian, but let's not get too bogged down. It's probably not too important. Just think of this shape here. Your good old pentatonic shape, and see how we've slid into this additional note here to that scale, which is a very important note. That's our major third. Okay, so sliding into that third. Okay, so that is lick 1. Let's move on to lick 2. If you've got your tab, if you're a member of the Patreon and you've got that, yeah, you can have a quick look at that now. So you can see lick 2, I'll play through it first for those who may not be members, which is totally okay. Just especially helpful if you comment and obviously subscribe and all those sorts of things. This one's in the key of G, and I've deliberately moved this around so you can get an idea of different spots that you can do it, but hopefully get a feel for the fact that they're all from the same position. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me play that again. I'll do a little slower. 1, 2, 3. That was better. That's how you play it that second time. I'm going to do that one more time, a little quicker. 2, 3. There we go. Okay, that's what I'm going for. Now, I actually wrote these licks last night, practiced them this morning, come back to them, and they're just not, they don't always roll off the first time I play them, so I apologize. But hopefully you got the idea there. So I'm going to play that nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. All right, so key of G, think of your pentatonic shape there. We're bending from the 5, flattening on the 3 and the 3, so. Okay, so 3 and 3. Pinky plays the 6 on the 2nd, then I'm double stopping on the 3rds again. Bending from the 3rd string again, 5th fret, double stopping twice, 6. And that sort of just alternates. So that second bar, we come into it with the then in the same rhythm we're just playing 6 3 6 5 3 5 3 4. Okay, so 6 3 on the 2nd string, 6 on the 3rd, 5 on the 3rd, 3 on the 3rd, play the 5th fret on the 4th string, roll to the 5th of the 3rd string. Okay, so 5th on the 4th string, I don't know if I said 4. Roll to the 5th on the 3rd, play the 3rd fret there on the 3rd string, and hammer that 2nd finger down. Okay, alright, so that's lick 2. I'll play it for you one more time. 1, 2, 3. In terms of the picking, you can probably get away with all downstrokes for the bending part, and then at the end, I like to alternate, but you could, if you're not doing it too quick, you might find all downstrokes completely fine. Let's go on to lick 3. Here we go. 3, 4. Okay, that's not an easy lick. It's quite tricky. Let's do that again. Okay, or you could also do it like this. If you're really ambitious and want to pick all the notes in that little fast bit. To be honest, I'm only really doing that because I didn't write this bit as legato, but it really should be. So I'll just walk you through that now. So this lick's in A. We're just working in that same position where you could imagine that the root note would be from here. And the cool thing about doing this, guys, is if you're doing a rockabilly blues of some sort, if we're here, that's one idea, for example. When you go to the C chord, you just find the root note of the C. And the reason I say C is it's very common, obviously, to go to the 4th chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. Eventually move to there. We move up to here and we can use these licks. Then we usually go back to the 1 chord. Then we usually go to the 5 chord. And all these licks that you're using, you can use in one way or another. Okay, then the 4 chord. Then we're back. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's why I've just decided to keep them all from one spot. So it's a real simple way for you to move them around. Continuing with lick 3, we're in A. We're hitting 7, 7 on the 4th string. We pick the 5th fret on the 1st string. We do a pull off from the 8 to the 5 on the 2nd. And we play the 7th fret on the 3rd string. Okay, so bum, bum, bum. Then we pick the 8, pull to the 5, play the 7. We go to the 5 on the 1st string, like that. So that bar goes. Okay, then we do the same thing where we pull off from the 8 to the 5 and then play the 7. We play the 7 again, but this time we hammer to the 8 and we rip back off to the 7 and rip back to the 5 there. So from the start, here we go. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4. If you struggle with that, practice it really slow like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That way it doesn't sound like all the things that happen with that, which obviously from teaching for 15 years, I've seen it all. Guys, the easiest way to fix it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Practice it slow. I'm not picking again after I strike that 7. Okay. When you got it even at slow speed, then speed it up. The rest of the lick, so after we finish that, we play the 7th fret on the 4th string, 5th fret on the 3rd, roll or hammer to the 6th fret there, and go to the 5 there. So you can see in this shape, that note there is very, very important. Wherever we're playing from, in a rockabilly blues that's got that kind of upbeat feel, that's a really important note. Okay, it's the major third of the root note that you're working from. Okay, being in this case A. If we're here for G, that's what makes them major chords, more or less. I'll play that really slowly one more time. Okay, now if we were playing a blues and it regularly would go up to the 4, we'd go up to the D here, we could do the same lick. Cool lick. I like that one. Quite proud of that one. Okay, so exercise 4, let's have a crack at that one. A little quicker. So this one's using E. We're playing from the open spot. So it may look and feel a little bit different to the other ones. I didn't use any major third licks for this. I just kept it more strictly pentatonic, a more blues scale, I should say. And the other thing is sliding up into the next shape of the pentatonic. A really useful little trick there. So I'm playing the 6th string open. I'm playing the 1st string open. I'm doing a pull off from the 3rd fret of the 2nd string to the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. I'm picking the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, and you can pull off or you can pick whatever pleases you to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, open, 2nd fret on the 4th string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, sorry, and then open. And then we're on this 2 here, and then we go 2 again, open, 2, open 3rd. So okay, with all of these licks, it really helps if you go back and listen to me play it a couple of times and sing along with it. You'll kind of have a better understanding of what you're doing when you're practicing along or trying to learn it. So that's the first 2 bars of exercise 4. The next bar, we slide from the 2nd fret up to the 4th on the 3rd string. We pick the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. We come back to the 4th fret and we do a pull off to the 2nd fret and pull off to the open. Okay. Slight ripping motion downwards. If you get a little tink out of the 2nd string, it's kind of okay because it works anyway. But sometimes I rest my finger on that string so you don't get that sound. But if you practice it, you will be able to do it without popping that 2nd string. Could take a little bit of practice. Yeah, sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there. So we were 4 to 3, 4 2 0, 2 on the 4th string, open, and then we're back to the 2nd fret there. So okay, very I really like that lick. A very straight bluesy pentatonic lick, but a great one nonetheless. So that was exercise 4. Let's take a look at the last one, exercise 5. 1 2 3 4. Yeah, not too different to the last lick really, but in a more closed position. And again, just using that combination of pentatonics, a little bit of blues scale. This time, once again, I didn't use any major third. Very easy to incorporate depending on whether you're doing a major blues or a minor blues. There's some examples where you wouldn't want to be using that magic major third I keep talking about. And that would be if you're doing a minor based rockabilly blues. Lonesome Train, great example. It's that it's a dark kind of rockabilly blues, which also another mention of John Herbert, who recently joined. John has requested that I do a version of Lonesome Train by Johnny Burnett, and I will be fully transcribing that for my Patreon members. Of course, the lesson will be available on YouTube, so also check that out. Now, let's get into this lick. So it's 5th fret on the 1st string, 8th fret on the 2nd string. So I'll do that again. Then what we do, we roll from the 5th fret on the 2nd string to the 5th fret on the 3rd string. 7 on the 4th string, 5th fret on the 4th string, we're back to that 7. Then we play the 7 again, we go to the 5, we go to the 7 again, and then we go to the 5 on the next string, which is the 3rd string. Then we play the 7th fret on the 4th string, then we play the 5th fret on the 1st string, 8th fret on the 2nd, 5th on the 2nd, 7 on the 3rd, 5 on the 3rd, 7 on the 4. Then we put our pinky straight to the 8th fret. This is the sneaky bit about this lick. This is the bit I kind of went for, something different. Straight to that 8, 8, 7. Then we rip the 8, 7, 5, and play the 7 on the 4th string. So let me do that again. Should have been like that. Sorry, let me do that one more time. Yeah, that's a cool lick. I like that lick too. I like all these licks. I obviously wrote them to show you some licks that I like. That was the whole point. So anyway, let me wrap it up and have a real quick chat at the end of our lesson. See you in a sec. Okay guys, so that's the end of the lesson. Now it's really worth you checking out a whole lot of the other videos that I've got, especially the ones in the Theory for Rockabilly and Psychobilly playlist. There's the video on pentatonics, which I highly recommend doing. There's the Mixolydian with the major third, Mixolydian with the minor third included licks, that Rockabilly sound. You'll see that on the thumbnail. So have a look through those videos. There's PDF content for the majority of those things on my Patreon, so worth jumping on there. And of course, there's going to be more of this stuff coming up as always. You guys know what I do. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.